So, you've heard about a commonplace book, but you don't exactly know why you should keep one. Hopefully, this video can help you out a little bit. But if you've got no idea what a commonplace book is, it's basically a journal sort of thing of things that you found interesting while learning, I suppose you could say that. So let's say you're reading something and you found something interesting. You put that in your commonplace book. What if you're watching something and you find something interesting? You put that in your book. Or if you're talking to someone and you find something interesting, you throw that in the book as well. So you could say a commonplace book is essentially like an encyclopedia, like a journal, a dictionary of your mind and what you find interesting. Here's an example of how you can sort of get commonplace and like learn things. Let's say I'm reading this book and I find something interesting. I gotta find, here we go. And then you draw one of these, it's over here, one of these squiggly lines. If the camera can focus, there we go. So you draw one of those squiggly little lines over there, okay? And then you continue on reading, right? Because you don't want to like highlight it and start fucking underlining and writing like whole little essays like down the side of the page or something, because that'll just disrupt your reading. And let's be real here, we did all that crap in school and it fucking sucks. So we're not going to be doing that here in our real life, because we want to make this fun, okay? You continue reading and then you come back to it later, you read what's interesting, and then you throw it into your little commonplace book thingy-majig. And then you sort of can like reflect on it or do whatever. Or you can just do what I do most of the time and completely forget about it. Now, that is the whole idea of commonplacing. A lot of people do this. It's not necessarily just in a like paper and pen thing, although many people say it is far, far better to do it in here. You retain the information better, and it's just overall better than doing it on Google Docs, alright? But why? Why keep a commonplace book? Well, well, I've actually got no idea. I just learned about this today and thought it was really cool, so I'd make a video on it. I've had a commonplace book for almost a year now, and I've written about 6 things in it, and then it's been sitting on my shelf for the remainder of the time up until today, because I just completely forgot about it. So yeah, you did in fact get clickbaited by my title. But no, all the other videos out there saying why you should keep a commonplace book, in fact, they don't tell you why as well. So this video isn't any better than those. Maybe it is better, because I'm at least going to give it a go. You see, commonplacing helps you learn things better. When you're reading a book and you're trying to like learn something from it, like I don't know, let's say you're reading a book on like stoicism or something, or building a business, or reading a book on how to grow a tree or something like that, and you find something insightful, you learn something from it, and then you do that little squiggly line and then you chuck it in this book. The act of simply writing the thing down and revising it and then reflecting on it and writing about it, that helps you retain the information so much better, and you learn about it. It's like downloading something into your brain. And let's say like you forget it, then you can always just come back to the book, open it, read your thoughts, read the quote and where it came from, and then right under it you can sort of read where you got that from, where you got this idea, what you thought of it, why you wrote it down. So you're sort of learning through your own, I don't even know what I'm saying here. It's an interesting thing. Once you have like your thoughts down and stuff, and you're reading them and you're reflecting on them, and it's retained in your mind, even when you forget it and you come back to it, it's like you immediately remember it again. And you may read the things in your commonplace book a second time and you gain a new insight, and then you just write that under the old insight. And as your brain and your idea develops, this encyclopedia of your brain of all the things you find interesting, it becomes part of you. It's like an extension of your brain, something physical, something that never goes away, because a book doesn't forget. The pages like don't magically blow away unless you have a rage fit and rip it off. You know, the ink doesn't magically disappear unless you stupidly wrote in invisible ink thinking you were 12 again. But our brain forgets. We forget the things we read. When I read through a book, you know, there's this book I read a while ago called The Power of Now. I made a bunch of videos on it back in the day, but I haven't made any more videos on it because I didn't memorize any quotes. I didn't do any circles or write anything down in a commonplace book, and now I've completely forgot it all. So if I want to memorize anything and learn something, I have to read the whole damn book again, which is like, what the hell? There's an ad crawling on my computer. That's always confusing as to how that happens. Anyway, so now I have to reread the whole book again, and it's like kind of an annoying thing. So the act of commonplacing and stuff, you don't really have to reread an entire book again, because you just simply drawing like a little line in your book, you know, they're not sacred. It's okay to write in them, unless of course you don't own the book, then maybe don't trash someone else's book. And it's just that simple act of underlining something, rewriting it, and you remember it. And even if you haven't written it down, but you did underline it, you can then flick through that book, and it'll be very easy to spot out that thing that you highlighted or whatever the hell you did to it. Drew a squiggly line around it. And then you can learn it again. You can relearn it faster. So that's just something interesting that I learned about today. If you want to help yourself learn better, maybe get yourself some crappy little journal or whatever it is, and just whenever you're reading or learning, watching, having a conversation with someone, if something strikes you as super insightful, just memorize it and write it down. And then later on, you can maybe look at it, stare at it for a couple minutes, and reflect on it and think, how does this make me feel? Why did I read this in the first place? And that's about it for this video. It's just an interesting thing. I think it's really cool. It's definitely something that I want to do more often, instead of just writing 6 little quotes and then completely forgetting about it. Yeah, that's really it for this video. If you want to see more from me, the top link in the description will take you to a juicy little free community thing that I made. I've got a mental health course in there, and I will be doing other things in it. Obviously I'll be adding more to make it more enticing for you to join, and more stuff for you to learn. It's all exclusive to that page, so it's free to sign up, it's free to join. It takes nothing out of you, but you can get closer to me, and you can send me messages and make posts as well. You can like ask questions in this like community tab. You'll see it all when you get there. I'll look forward to see you there soon. Alright, and I'll see you in the next one. But this video actually isn't over. This is just for those who wanted to stick around. I feel like maybe I could read one of these things. One of these things that I was reading. Of course I did that. Yeah. So here's an interesting quote that I wrote down. This is from a book called The Greatest Thing in the World. I actually don't know where I got this book from. I'm pretty sure I just found it sitting around somewhere. It was like this really, really tiny thing. And yeah, I just thought I'd read it. It was super small. There is no happiness in having or getting, but only in giving. Well, that's a nice little quote there. So this is something that I found interesting, and I wrote down probably like 8 months ago or something. I think that's about the time that I would have read this thing. And I saw that and I thought, you know what, I'm going to write that down. There is no happiness in having or getting, but only in giving. What a beautiful quote there. Isn't that just lovely? So clearly this is saying that, you know, instead of us like taking things and stuff, there's no real happiness from it. Obviously if someone handed you like a guitar or a car or something, you'd be like ecstatic. You'd be so happy that you'd receive that. But imagine if you were able to gift that to someone. Now that gives you some real nice fulfillment, and I think that kind of explains why I'm doing like this sort of thing, because I'm giving out some lessons that I learned and stuff, and it brings me a lot of joy and fulfillment to come out here and say some nice stuff and help you all out with your things and problems, whatever. Oh man, that's beautiful. And there we go. See, here's an extra little bonus for those of you who stuck around to see the end of this video. That's another nice little benefit of a commonplace book. If you write down some nice, cheeky, wholesome quotes like that, future you's going to come back and read through this book, and it'll just put a nice smile to your face. That's really wonderful. It's a wonderful thing to see. So start commonplacing today. Get a book. If you can't do it, put it in a Google Doc, but get a book as soon as you can. And then just write down things you find interesting, and it becomes an extension of your mind. It's like my brain. This thing here is kind of like my brain, but in a physical form, although I dare not look at those first few pages. There is some weird shit in there that no one's ever going to see. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.